Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I'm your host, Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we talk to Eric Nielson, Director of the Western Pool and Spa Show and owner of Willow Creek Pools. We want to talk about the Western Show that will be held March 23rd to the 25th out in Long Beach, and we also want to talk a little bit about our partnership and education. Want to welcome everyone to the live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting and splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our sponsors for this podcast, the SPPA, Ultimate Pool Tools, Pool Invoice, Blueray, AquaStar, Natural Chemistry, Raypak, and Heritage Pool Supply. We want to thank them for their continued support. Mr. Zacharias, good evening.
So I heard your little mess up there, but I want to ask a question here because where I'm from, it's creek, but I get a whole bunch of crap, I guess, for saying creek. So I want to ask y'all, is it creek or is it creek?
In Texas, it's creek.
It depends on how much water is flowing in
it. They're all creeks in Idaho.
When it flows really good, it's a creek. It's a creek. So it's actually near my ranch property and other stuff in Utah is Willow Creek Ranch, whatever, and that's where it comes from. And I call it Willow Creek. Everybody there, it's a creek.
Yeah, thank you.
C-R-I-C-K, it's Willow Creek.
That solves it, Eric. I'm glad we're on the same page.
So I didn't mess up the intro because I said both. So I was just playing devil's advocate. Mr. JJ, good evening. How you doing?
Full disclosure, I have no idea what you guys were talking about because I've never heard of a creek. I only know of a creek. So it's a good evening because I learned something today. And it seems like as far as like language, especially going back and forth to Texas, my eyes are opening up to a whole new world in different lingo and how you pronounce things and how you say things. And it's fascinating. Yeah, creek.
Zach, he's a city boy. What is it? City slicker?
I am a city boy. I am a city boy. In all honesty, right now, look, dude, we're less than 2 weeks away from the show. You believe how quick this has happened? Literally, I was having like heart palpitations today thinking about it. I'm like, dude, it came so quick. We got so much to do and so much going on. And the Western Show, we've been a part of it last year. And this year we have the honor to be a part of it as well. But I'm going to give away a little secret here. Out of all the shows I've ever gone to, I've always been excited about the Western Show. That was just like my show. And every year I would get giddy and excited and wanting to go down there and meet new faces and shake hands and put faces to names. And then more importantly, be a part of the education and to learn things because that's what we go for. And we're excited this year to do the same thing too. And this year's going to be a big year. Yeah.
It's funny that you say that, John, because this week alone, you're the third person that I talk to that calls it my show. It's true. You start to talk to people and they talk about other shows as, oh, I go to the show. That's a great show. But this week alone, you're the third person that says, that's my show.
You know what? You bring up a good point. And I didn't say it purposely. It just, that's how it felt. And let's unpack that a little bit here. And what does that really mean? Now we're having a therapy session here. And all right, here we go and figure out. But the truth is, obviously, when you call something my, or you take some possession or ownership of it, one, you feel obviously a part of it. And that show, obviously, to me and to us, feels our show. Kudos to Eric and Stan and all the great people at the Western show that put this on, because one thing the Western is known for is it's the service technician or the service provider show. And that's what I am. I'm just a tub scrubber. That's what I do. And I feel like I'm at home there, where I'm not seeing other things that don't really apply to my trade and my profession, where the Western show just checks all the boxes for us. And it's also close to home as well. I don't have to travel or fly away to get there. But every pool guy that I talk to or pool girl that I talk to out here in California, Nevada-ish area, all feel the same way. Everybody's stoked and excited to go to the Western show. And this year, people are even more excited than they've been in the previous years. So looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Eric, good evening. How you doing?
Evening. How are you guys doing? Great. Doing good. Looking forward to this. I really enjoy always with you guys, all the things that you guys do. It's been tremendous to watch that. And I go to your podcast. I sit back and listen, and your Instagram lives and everything else. And John has really just come into his own, I think, in the last while. I just want to compliment him. Just his confidence and in the way his demeanor and everything else. I would say it's both of you guys do it, which was great. The Pool Nation Award, you guys have stage presence. You feel comfortable, and you can tell that, and you're learning, you're getting that way. And it's awesome. Just awesome to see that progression that you guys are making.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate that. We appreciate you taking the time. So John's talking about us being stressed about time, and oh my God, it's around the corner. And we just play this tiny little piece, right? We just need to show up and just go to the show, do it. That's it. Like, you have to put the entire show together. So I can't even imagine what your stress level is right now.
People hear it in my voice. Sometimes, I've actually the last couple of days, I try not to have that, or just different things going on and whatnot. My son, it's maybe my family and whatever. If I get on with the family, my son or whatever, he'll say, "You sound stressed." I go, "Okay, it's just lots of stuff, lots of things going on." And up till 1 a.m. or so, and up again at 5. People from Florida don't know that it's 5 a.m. And I'm usually up wherever anyway, early in the mornings. Everybody's panicking and stuff, and we're getting to deadlines of shipping and freight coming across the country. It's a big orchestrated thing. People don't recognize people coming from all across the country, and all the exhibitors and all of their things, and each of them have their own issues and problems that they need help with, and how to, where to come, where to get shipping. And we have about 18 new exhibitors, people who are brand new. This is the first time in their show. He'll probably be 20. I got a couple in today. I got another one from Florida, and just helping them walk through the process and figure out how things work and how they do it. There's a lot of moving parts, Hotels, there's all the hotel issues. We have a ton of volunteers. We've got plus 45 volunteers that we deal with. We are hosting and putting up the hotels and stuff, and food and logistics and all of that. And then our registration, and again, all the moving parts that go on. And it's certainly a lot of work and whatever, but there's a lot of satisfaction at the end and seeing people enjoying it. And when John says that it's his home, it's his whatever, that's what we're trying to produce. And being there, and we want every interaction that we have with our customers to be a positive thing. And so if we're doing that and people are having that feeling, then that's a big compliment that we're being successful in what we're trying to do. And it's not just me. Stan is awesome. Stan couldn't be here tonight. He's our seminars. We work together on all the things, but he's seminars, and especially volunteers. He has an incredible relationship with all of our volunteer staff, and they love him, and it's really a family thing. We see each other around. I go to Northern California, and I see a good part of them come down from all the way from Fresno area in Northern California. And they do every year after year, and simply because they enjoy it, they love it. And we treat them well, and they really work hard and understand what we're trying to accomplish and do it with the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, big, huge shout out to Stan. Stan is absolutely the man out there at the show. We really appreciate all his help and hard work with the education and stuff like that. Hey, Eric, we want to thank you for coming on the podcast and for everything that you do, but we really want to thank you for your partnership and your friendship with us from the beginning. And you've been such an amazing partner with us and everything that you do. You're a big supporter. You've done some huge things. You've called me before and given me some feedback that I know that nobody else has ever done. So that speaks big volumes to me, right? It's easy for people to give good feedback and do that kind of stuff, but I appreciate you staying in touch with us. And at times when things don't go the way or whatever, that you've been able to call and say, hey, let me give you a little bit of feedback. Let me tell you this, let me tell you that. And that's what we appreciate, because it's very easy to get a lot of people to just tell you, yeah, this is good. But when things aren't maybe that great, you want somebody in your corner saying, hey, you could probably do this better or don't do that. Especially you that have been in the industry for a long time. Definitely big, huge thanks to you, because we definitely wouldn't be where we are today without your partnership.
Just because I care about you guys, I care about what you're doing. I am so impressed with what you're accomplishing, with what you've come to. And I think you get it. I'll be honest, they were criticisms. It was only helpful to just say, hey, think about what you're doing, because you are, which I think you're better than, and can be even better than what you're doing now. So that's the only reason I would ever do that, is because I care about you.
No, we definitely really appreciate that. So, Eric, tell us a little bit about yourself. One of the things that I want to do this time is I want to go almost like a little bit more back in time, because you've been in the industry for a very long time and you've been a director of the show. But tell us how you got into doing pools.
The earliest experience with pools was my father was a engineer with a company out here in LA, and so we moved to LA, and he was a hydraulic engineer, and they did work on designing the liquid oxygen pump for the J-2 rocket, which was part of the Apollo program. I still have his slide rule. It's about 3 feet long, and they sent somebody to the moon using slide rules. It was just amazing what they were doing then. There was a guy here in the area who had created this pool cleaner and concept and idea, and he was looking for somebody to help him with the hydraulic concepts and part of that. And it was the original Polaris cleaner. And my father and another friend of his who he worked with, who is also a very cool guy, he had been a German World War II pilot, and I grew up with as friends with my father. And the both of them did the work on the original Polaris, and they got paid $500 to do the original work. And my first job was sitting on a diving board. I was 7. This is the mid-60s. Sitting on a diving board and with a piece of paper and marking back and forth and watching this thing going back and forth. And I got paid 25 cents an hour. And so that was my first job in the industry. And I tell the Polaris and whatever other things I was, give it a Fludra, whatever part. In reality, I was like your first employee.
That's awesome.
And in the 70s, I had a neighbor who did pools in Beverly Hills, and I lived in the San Fernando Valley, grew up in the San Fernando Valley, but he took me with him and started doing things. He was 14, 15 years old, and just that ride-along guy and helping him out. He's really cool and helped me learn to do stuff. And I got driver's license and had a truck and was starting to do things. And I would go around and I would help people with pools and do different things. I learned then. And then I went on and did different things. I was out of the country for a while and did different things. And I always came back. And then after, I got married and I had kids. And so this is the early 80s. I've always had a pool business. It's one of those things you can always, for a few $100, you got a truck and you can go to work. You can do it. And then progress to having something really sustainable that you can support a family off of. For such a small investment, there's very few things that you could do that with. And so I'm always grateful for that. I have multiple different other businesses, all kinds of different things that I do and enjoy. But I've always had, again, solid from about the early 81, I guess it would be late 79 or early 80 that I've had pool business. My first pool truck, and I've always been involved, have cars and stuff, and I love old cars. It was a 56 Ford pickup truck with a tilt front end with a big 360 in it and tuck and roll interior. And that was my first pool truck. In fact, I got that and went with that. It was all beat up, and I first got it, was fixing it up, and I went to pick up my wife on our first date, and it had the swing out windows, and the window was broken. I had a cardboard in it. Whenever I pick it up, and we go walking down the street, and she goes, "Oh, it has the ugliest truck I've ever seen." But I feel like whoa, what is that? And here I've got to go open the door and let her in and go get that. So,
that's awesome.
Anyway, it all worked out. And she ended up loving it. The seats were actually really comfortable, but I still wish I had that truck. I see him going, gosh, at Barrett Jackson. It's some similar going for $100,000. I still got cars. I have old Vets and other stuff. Mustangs and other stuff. But yeah, that was my first pool truck.
Can you tell us about your company and what that looks like today and kind of the progression from when you started today? I'm just curious what that looks like.
Sure. So I started off, again, worked for a few other people and then picked up pools here and there and just kept at it. I had never advertised, ever. Never had an ad in the newspaper, magazine, anything, but it's always been word of mouth. My best references were the maids in Beverly Hills. Most of my business is very high-end, Beverly Hills, celebrities, people from heads of major companies. But those maids, they're the ones who run the world in Beverly Hills. So they take care of the households and whatever. And if they need a gardener, they need a whatever, they talk to their friends who are in other houses and taking care of stuff and refer you. And that's changed a lot. Now it's a lot of property managers and all kinds of that kind of deal. But built it for myself to up to a bunch of different employees and running pools. I don't really do so many pools that much anymore myself, but we do service and then light remodel fix stuff. We've got some big apartment building things off Wilshire Boulevard, big giant buildings, and we're doing some redo on them before summertime comes around. And most of it, again, is just high-end stuff. We got houses, pool, 15, 20 pumps, as many as 20 plus pumps, and up to 30 horse pumps. Got water features and stuff with as high as 30 horse pumps. They just take a lot of TLC going through, and a lot of my job just going around everywhere and figuring out what needs to be taken care of and stuff. And so it's been very interesting. I've met a lot of really interesting people and made some great friends of a lot of famous people who are, for the most part, they're all just regular folks. And that's been great. I've enjoyed that part of it a lot. People are the most important part. It really doesn't take a lot of mental work when you're out there doing stuff, really. So I was a Scoutmaster for 17 years. I had about a dozen kids that became Eagle Scouts. I was an Eagle Scout when I was a little kid, and I believe that was a great program. My wife is always upset at me for volunteering and doing all kinds of things too much. So it's who and what you are.
So how long have you been the director of the Western Pool and Spa Show?
When I say directors, I'm not single director. I guess I have certain big role, but it's in 20 plus years. This year it actually will be our 45th year of the show going on and 30 years in Long Beach. Though I'd been to the show and I'd helped out with things and knew people and stuff before that, but it's been a long time. But it's not, again, certainly it's not just me. It's Stan. We've got a few other directors. So we call directors, and directors who are people are on the board of directors of the show. And we have had a few that are in their late 80s to plus are emeritus, but are still around and come to dinner, whatever stuff. But they put in time and effort that from years and years of them participating and being there. And we've always made it as part of our policy too, that anybody who's been on the board for a certain number of years, and if they retire and come back, we will pay for them to have a hotel room and other stuff to come back because we want to give back to that. And if you come by as you exit at the show floor, you'll see a wall of honor that we have there that our board of directors who from years and years who have passed away, we honor them and they have their photo up there on that wall and make sure that we remember them, all those sorts. It's a very important place and that we respect because they gave a lot. And there were some fantastic people who were part of it. And from several of the companies who are there, been there from the very beginning. It started off as a little tabletop, Studio City. A combination of manufacturers and reps and a few service guys. And they said, hey, let's get together. And it was really going to be just education at first. Somebody, especially Raypak and the others, just asked, hey, could I stick something out in the hallway or whatever while we're having the classes? And people are going in and out. And that became the show. And now it's developed into what it is today. We moved from there to Pasadena for several years and a few years in Anaheim. And then now this will be our 30th year in Long Beach.
But John, you were talking about it and you talk about a show, look at the roots of the show. And here they are, people that have been in the past and they bring them back and they put them up and they have the wall of honor and stuff like that. It starts to all make sense, right? Why there is that feeling of that togetherness, because there is from the people that are running the show. And I know that you guys treat your volunteers really well, but it really starts to make a lot of sense of why you have that sense of it's my show, because you treat everybody that way. So let me ask you this. What is it that you want the Western Pool and Spa Show to be known for?
What's our main goal is for the mutual benefit of the pool and spa industry and the education of the people who are in that industry. Certainly the education, the whole show, the show floor, everything else exists as part of it in order to provide the education. That's what's the most important component of what we do. And then certainly the interaction that the manufacturers and everything, and then all the other exhibitors, that's great. But it really boils down to that education part. And we have 90 plus classes this year, and we're super excited about what you guys are coming and doing. And that really is the most important thing. And we're not necessarily, as you said before, that we're known as a service show, but we've been working hard. We do have a bigger component of stuff for people in the construction side. And we're doing some great things with Watershape University, different people, and trying to add that as expanding our demographic, those people who are touching, because it's an important part of the industry.
Funny that you say that. It's actually, to me, I think it's a beautiful thing because seriously, the last 5 years, there's been a major shift in our industry, at least from my perspective of it, and we were talking a little bit earlier before, and perception's reality, right? This is whatever someone perceives as their reality. And it might not necessarily be the truth or the true intentions behind what others think, but it's great to see these shows evolve. And where Western, to us, or to the pool guys and gals that we've known, have been like the service side, and how you're speaking of, hey, look, instead of being exclusive, be more inclusive. And we want to expand and reach out and expand our horizons, and also include and attract the builders. They're very important because they are a very critical part in our industry. One can't do without the, no. And then on the flip side, with the international show is the same. They've been known for like building builders. And they're making that stretch and trying to reach out to the service professionals. And at the end of the day, what we create are two better shows for everybody. And that is a beautiful thing. 5 years ago, that was like non-existent and not really even the talk. Everybody stayed in their lane, did what they did. And now we're changing, which I think is beautiful.
Absolutely. In fact, last year we had classes specifically, and there's always been, in some instances, a sort of a button heads between service guys and builders. And we actually had a panel discussion on how we can better get along and talk and understand each other. There's things that the builders could learn from service guys, understanding actually how a pool works, how to make a pool work better. Well, it's just a lot of times they dig a hole, do all kinds of whatever, and fill it up, and then they're gone. But then there's somebody who has the next 40, 50 years. I literally have pools that were built, the shells and stuff, in the 20s. So somebody is going to be taking care of that for now nearly 100 years. And somebody's going to need to take care of it. But the better it's built, the better the way that the return lines are, the way the suction is, or everything else, makes that easier to maintain it. And it's a better experience for the homeowner, the customer, as far as how that pool functions and works, if it's built correctly from the beginning.
Here's the other part of that, John, is you take a look at the industry itself, and you're also starting to see there's a lot of pool pros that eventually get into the building. And let's talk about it during COVID, right? How many pool guys did you not get that rolled into that pool builder side? And then let's talk about the other side. How many pool companies are you not seeing now coming back and going, wait a second, the service side could be very profitable? And I talk to people all the time that are established pool companies that are getting into the service side. Builders that are coming over to the service side. I just had a call with a pool building company that does $10 million a year, and they're implementing a service side to their company because they see the value and they see what it is. And at the end of the day, we're just one big, huge family, right? We just happen to be segmented into, and let's not even leave out the retail side of it, right? Because that's a whole other world that we live in, and everybody goes, oh, but if you think about it, a lot of them are now starting to also service and remodel. And so you're starting to see a lot more of that.
Sure, absolutely. And again, to that, we've had classes. We do classes on how to transition from service into construction. Classes specifically tailored towards that. So it's a reality that's going to be out there. A lot of guys do start off getting service, and they grow and start doing maybe little remodels and ultimately that bigger construction jobs. And I really do, especially with the downturn. There was a peaking with COVID and the money that was out there and people pulling money out of their homes and putting it there because they're in their backyards. But that's tapering off. And the reality is that the numbers of pools being built is going to go down and as the costs spiral up, it's going to be more and more difficult for that. So you have to look for some other source of revenue. And that service side is one of those that you would look to. Absolutely.
I want to ask a question because I think it's pretty amazing that it's volunteers that are helping out with this. And you have to have a special type of person that has a lot of passion for what they do to go and volunteer for something like this. What is it like working with the rest of the team, and what is the rest of the team for the Western Show like?
We have similar directors, guys. We meet basically once a month, pretty much a couple of months in the summertime that we don't meet, but we're always talking about it. That this is the board of directors, and each person has an area that they're taking care of. So we have somebody who's basically in charge of registration, and then Stan and seminars and the volunteers. We have other people who work on golf. We always have that putting contest in the back, which is lots of fun, and people enjoy that. And there's just everybody participates and does different things that way. And one thing that we've been working on, and we're doing great, and then there's our giveaway area. So actually the guy who was in charge of our giveaway years, and he's 90 years old, he's going to come on Saturday. But we have other people. We're bringing on a bunch of young people who literally are helping take over. They're not even on board of directors. So we're expanding and looking to bringing more of our just regular volunteers participating in the planning and executing and doing the things for the show, not just into the future, bring them on board and whatever that they can do, but then certainly take burdens off of us. But the more people we can bring in and help and get different ideas, they're all young people, some in their 20s and early 30s, then they're all excited, and it's great for them to do stuff. And so we have to bring them on and have them participating. And we're not going to be around forever, but we want to be able to have and establish so some of those younger people they get it and see the vision and understand it and feel that passion and the enjoyment they can get out of it. We're working on that to try and bring that about. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I have to say something, Eric.
That's fine. Nothing has ever stopped you before.
I noticed when you were talking about young people, you said young people in their 20s and 30s.
At me.
And I'm like, waiting for you to say 40s. I'm like, am I young? Yeah.
I would just think as young as in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
John,
I'm just saying, I feel old.
Volunteer. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still young. I'm not going to say I'm.
Yeah.
I'm past that by a good number of years.
Yeah, I'm still in mine. I'm hanging tight. I'm hanging tight on my 40s.
Hey, I will say, as we age and we look at other people, and you see and you forget how old you are yourself. It's always been difficult. Somebody asks you how old you got to think about it for a minute. It just pops in your mind. Hey, I asked my grandkids how old they are. They know exactly how old they are. But once you hit that 30s, going 40s and stuff,
we don't celebrate our birthdays anymore.
It just goes by. You just have to think about it. I don't look at really age things, but I would say most of our volunteers are in their 40s, 50s. I would say that they're an older group.
John, you've aged out, buddy. John aged out of the volunteer group.
I'm just saying, I used to be young in the industry. Now
they look at you and they go, yeah, we don't want John. Let's not even bother.
Yeah.
We're always looking for new volunteers. We have a list. We keep a list. If they're interested in coming and volunteering, it's a commitment of those days, but we put people up and we take them, and got to be a team player, got to be able to be there. But again, people been volunteers for 20 plus years. They come every year. And so that's one thing. If you're interested in volunteering, get anybody, just get a hold of what I or Stan or whatever, and just let us know, and we put you on the list. And there's 2 or 3 new probably every year. Somebody can't come or some whatever other stuff, but we're really blessed. I look at our organization as something that's blessed because so many people for so many years have done good things in a good way, and out of the goodness of their hearts that we're blessed with good volunteers, good things that happen to us. There's always issues and problems and whatever, but I look at things that way, that we're blessed to have those people.
Yeah, we met some of the volunteers last year that hung out and watched over our classrooms and stuff like that. And we hit it off, and I still talk to them on Instagram. We message and we talk, and it's a great group of people.
Yep. Absolutely. Awesome.
Hey guys, let's do this. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, we will continue our conversation with Eric.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with reoccurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blueray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blueray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blueray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
Blueray all day.
AquaStar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double-locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We continue our conversation with Eric, and we continue our conversation about the Western Pool and Spa Show, which will take place March 23rd to the 25th in Long Beach. We're super excited. We're going to be there. So we continue our conversation.
So, Eric, I want to ask, what events do you guys have going on at the Western this year?
Besides the big event of having Pool Nation do a bunch of classes, that's one big thing.
John is going to get red.
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, that's probably one of our biggest. You've got a bunch of other classes. They're separate from our regular seminar program. Again, getting back to what we're doing with Watershape University. And they're an awesome group. They really are. I love everything that they do. And I think about why I do is because everything that they do, there's an excellence to everything that they do. From their graphics of all their ads, their website, everything, their demeanor that they do. They're creating an atmosphere within their classes and their classrooms and everything else is positive, and they're really developing that family attitude and stuff that people want to keep coming back and taking more and more of the classes and stuff. So I really enjoy that. We're doing some plumbing classes that literally are so that people become certified to glue a piece of pipe and stick it together. But there really is the right and wrong ways of doing that. And so we're having a specialized class simply for that. That's a day-long class that has to do with plumbing and pipe and how to do that. There's much more to it than just the gluing. But part of it is they're actually going to be going outside and having to glue pipe together, and then it will be tested, and that's part of their certification program. And we're having electrical courses and stuff that they're putting on. So people don't think that there would be a class like that, but they're doing that. And I think even next year, we're going to expand that and have even a wider variety of classes. Certainly, we're having the PCTI course, which Terry Arker is teaching that, the chemistry course, which is really important. And then we've always been a big supporter of CPO. We have a guy who teaches our CPO courses, Steve Donahoe, and we co-brand all of his courses with him. And he's just an awesome partner. He's had a pool store and service company, but his real passion is education. I just love how he teaches the classes. And so we're doing CPO courses as well. Those are outside of the norm, the regular stuff that we're doing. And then, of course, is our education program. That's a big, big part. And that's 90 plus classes of education for a literally nominal price. That you couldn't go to any other conference and you're paying hundreds of dollars for one class, and let alone being able to go all 3 days to any one of 90 different classes.
I just wanted to say, it just goes to show, again, how far we're coming and we're moving and we're involving, where we can have a venue where we can offer the PCTI course at the same place, be able to offer the CPO course. So it's like a disillusion people have that courses are competition against each other. And this is just education, where in reality, I believe they both complement each other. You should get certified, CPO certified, and you should take the PCTI course. Knowledge is power. And having a show display both or offer both, and allowing people to either make a choice or hopefully make the choice to do both, whether they do it this year and take one this year and then do it next year, or vice versa, or however it works. But that's what it's all about, because the more we become educated, the more confident we become in our abilities and what we do. That's where we start to see the acceleration and start to see us really grow and become that industry that we all strive to become. Not saying that people don't look up to us, but it's always that we struggle to find our purpose, the pool industry. And are we just a pool guy or the pool girl, where our jobs are so much more important than the perception that some people might think in the past, right? And that is slowly changing. And the only way it does is when we become more confident in our abilities and we start to perform and do better. And the only way to do that is by experience and by education. So the more we have of this kind of stuff is just awesome. Here's a little secret. Mama told me they're doing a plumbing and electrical class, and she thought, I want to take it. I want to do it. And I'm just like, yeah, babe, do it. You need to do. I go, this is awesome. You will learn things that you don't know. If anything, you become more confident in what you do. So I get really giddy and excited about this stuff, because I think education is the one vessel that will propel us or get us to where we need to be faster than we ever wanted, that we could ever imagine we'd get there. And I'm excited for all these new courses, and I hope they do expand, and there's more and more of them that are offered each and every year.
It's funny, John, because you say that, and we always talk about, people ask us, what class should I take? You should take them all, right? You should take all of them. And I actually had somebody that called me today and said, yeah, and obviously we're working on something that we're going to put out soon. We'll talk about it next week in partnership with the Western and stuff like that. But they reached out to me, and somebody else reached out to me and said, hey, I know that you guys do a financial class and you guys do that kind of stuff. There's somebody else that's doing one, and they would like to be able to maybe talk to you about being on the platform and all that kind of stuff. And they were really tippy-toeing around the whole thing. And I'm like, tell them to call me. Like, why would I not? I want everybody to take 5 financial classes, right? Because I know that they take ours, they're going to learn some things, and they're going to take the next one, and it's all about the nuggets that you take with you. And every class is going to give you some certain nuggets that's going to make you better, whether to talk to your customer or for business or any of that kind of stuff. When it comes to education, take them all. It doesn't matter if they're competing courses or not. Take them all.
Yep.
Absolutely. And that gets to, we as a show don't have any one organization or anything that I'm involved in or been in part of, and with all kinds of different organizations, but they all bring something different to the table. Again, expand and talk with everyone. The more you're bringing in, the better off you are. You're absolutely correct. So that's what we do. And we have great relationships with all these companies. I get excited about certain ones, and I think they're doing great things. Not just the CPO, but they've got all other courses, all kinds of things that are out there. And Stan and I look at this and stuff all the time. It's just our single most difficult thing is getting people to understand the value of education. I have so many pool guys that are saying, "Oh, I know that. I've been
doing this for years."
So busy.
Exactly. And I was there 5 years ago and I took a class. It's always the same. Heck, we have out of the 90, whatever, more than half of them are literally brand new, different classes than we've had before. And so if you can't understand that things are different, especially now, new technologies, heck, I was just looking at the new lineup of Pentair pumps is one company. Everything's new. Everything else coming out with new things. All the companies, some neat new control systems that are coming out, pool tenders. There's all kinds of new things that are out there that you might not have seen before. So not only are they're on the show floor that you'll be able to learn about and see, but they're teaching classes on them as well. It's hard to get people to understand that the value, and a lot of it's because we've given away education for free. In other places, other industries and stuff, people end up paying for it. Seems like if it's free, maybe it doesn't mean that much.
No, for sure.
And it's for them to translate to a hard thing to get as part of it is that education reflects in dollars in your pocket. That's the message that you got to get to people, that if you're better at doing what you're doing, you can do this, you can sell yourself more, you can do whatever, value yourself more, which means what you're charging for your customers and what you can do and the money that you can earn and make. That education, again, means if you do it right, dollars in your pocket.
So we're talking about change and how our industry is evolving and how we're all evolving. Here's a question. Where do you see the Western show 5 years from now or even 10 years from now? Do you have a vision of where you'd like it to be and what you'd like it to accomplish?
I think we're working on that same path of growing and expanding our demographic on the builder side. As far as just exhibitions and whatever, we're never going to have the spas and barbecues and whatever stuff because it's too late in the pool season, and just where we're at in that time span of when you're ordering. So again, we're not going to ever really get the retail market. That's not going to be part of it. We're always going to have to be expanding who we serve, which would then be two things. The one side is the attendees, and then we have the exhibitors. You got to marry them back and forth. But I think that we're on a trajectory. We're growing somewhere around 4 or 5% every year for quite a few years. And then, of course, COVID's hit, and we're catching back up from that and trying to grow. But it's going to be that same continued path of education. And there's all kinds of other things that we'll be involved with, which are things that are online and video. We did it during COVID. We did online classes, and I could see the value and benefit from that. But there's always going to be a place for that face-to-face. You need to have face-to-face and that social interaction with people. You guys see it, and the one can enhance the other. And you guys have this, in a way, I would say Pool Nation, and you're developing a nation of friends and people that are out there that you're talked to all the time, but they get really excited to see you in person and get together, be it at the international show or whatever, or at the Western show. They develop this relationship. We want to foster that and keep that going and growing and providing for those people that same basic thing of what are the best education that we possibly can.
Now, I have a question for you because last year, obviously, we had COVID And so you guys did $20,000 giveaway, which, by the way, it was really close to our booth. So that whole energy, I almost won. We would make you give the money back, John.
I know.
Yeah, you got a good chance of people winning. Exhibitors can't.
You have a
can't win.
great
Exhibitors
chance.
can't win. Exhibitors can't win. So yes, we've given trucks away for almost the whole time period we've done the show. And post-COVID, everybody understands you go try and buy a truck right now. And we've given away some nice trucks. Even last year, just getting one or us guaranteeing that we could have one. I had a great deal with Dodge for quite a few years. They would exhibit on the show floor. And I love that because every guy in there drives a truck or a Sprinter van or whatever something. And guys like to go to things and they crawl in and out and over and look at this and that. That's just what guys do. And so it's wonderful. And they literally would sell more trucks at our show just during that one weekend of the show than they did at their two big dealerships. And so they were coming every year.
I'm just glad that it's a Dodge, that you guys have Dodges there, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Dodge guy. So.
I'm a Chevy guy, but it is whatever it is.
I got 4 Dodges.
Yeah. I've got 7 Chevy. I've got too many vehicles. But the combination of that and the expense for us to really put out something nice, the prices went up just incredibly. And we got hit really hard with COVID. People have no concept of what it costs and takes to put on the show. When you're talking, it's not just the $68 a gallon for coffee, but it's the $130 service fee on top of that for them to come and pour it for you.
It's
time
crazy.
Every time that you want it. The cost of that, of renting that hall, all the things, all our advertisements, everything, it costs a lot of money. So we ended up giving it $20,000. That's not a small chunk of change. That's a nice amount of money. But besides that, so literally last year we gave away about $4,000 worth of total of prizes. As part, one of them was at $20,000. If you calculate all the pumps and heaters and filters, everything else that we gave away, over $60,000. That the guy who won not the $20,000, but the second prize was a full Pentair pump heater filter combination, and IntelliFlow and a 400 heater and a filter. That's nothing to that. Literally everybody down to the top 5 was something that was worth over like $1,500. That big giveaway that we have our 10 finalists, and you got to be there. If you come to the show, you got to go back and register. We have prize giveaways every hour, but each day that you're there and you enter, we draw 3 names on Thursday, 3 names on Friday, 4 names on Saturday. And those go into those 10s. And we have that ball machine that everybody's familiar with. We try to hype it up and all the excitement and stuff that goes. And it's a fun thing. Remember, it's a show. It's entertainment. We're trying to have a good time at the same time that we're educating and having them the opportunity to be with the exhibitors and everything else. So it's going to be $20,000.
That is awesome. And there's a lot of excitement around that. Everybody was yelling and screaming and hollering. And as a matter of fact, Michelle was at our booth, remember? And she won the Via heater. We thought she won the $20,000. We started screaming and running over there, have all that excitement around those giveaways.
Those are thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
$5,000.
Those heaters are crazy. So those all. I have to give a shout out to Michelle because I just realized Michelle won at your show and she took the Via heater. She won Pool Girl of the Year. She got a whole pad. Man, she's been making out like crazy this year.
And another heater. Yeah,
she got 2 of them. She got 2 of these
Via heaters. Yeah,
you guys should have
gotten 10%.
Whatever you guys were doing, you at Vegas when you were there, you should have had her with you and try to get some luck there in Vegas.
Absolutely.
I'm bringing all my kids. I'm registering them, and they're all getting tickets. I got a lot of kids, so
John has 17.
I'm going to try to win.
John has 15 trucks. He's got his own pool company.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's true.
Have your own pool company. John doesn't need employees. He's got it all covered.
Hey, that's the way why you're farmers. That's why you got lots of kids. You got to have somebody jump out of the truck and open the gate, do all the other work for you. Yeah, you need lots of kids. Absolutely. It's wonderful.
So we've talked a little bit about the classes that are going to be there at the show, and you guys do an amazing job. Over 90 different classes. That's really big. And so we had the pleasure of meeting you guys last year partnering. We did, what was it, John? 2 classes we did last year. We did the classes multiple time and the financial class. And that was super exciting for us. And we thank you for reaching out and sending that invitation for us to do that. After last year, we had a conversation with you guys and we wanted to do more. And we're so about the education and we want to continue to build that. And this year we're doing something a little bit different. And hopefully the following year will be even bigger. But what really made you guys want to partner with us?
Again, it goes...
Be nice, Eric. Be nice. Be nice, Eric.
Again, it goes back to, for me, that I started watching and following you before I even met you. You're doing your podcast and stuff. And I've been involved in other venues and other different things and seeing people in podcasts. And I listen to a lot of things. And I just go, God, these guys get it. Really doing something. They understand what they're doing. There's something you gravitate. And I believe that other people are going to gravitate toward them. And then when I saw the things that you were also producing, which is that your education components that you have, and you're disseminating everything, not just on your podcast and everything, but you had the other classes. And hey, that would be wonderful to have you participating with us in the show because you embody sort of what we want to do and what we're doing. And you have a family following you. And so why would we not want to partner and bring that into the fold of what we're trying to do? If you're always looking for people who are doing, again, excellence and productivity, things that you're doing with the awards, it's just for guys who are literally, and I know what it took for you to leap up to that level of doing what you're doing they were big steps. If you've not done any of those things and produced things before, it's tremendous what you've accomplished. So we're really proud to have you as participating and doing what we're trying to bring about. And then your education thing are top notch. Talk to tons of other people who've taken and participating. And it's not just me, but I look at the other manufacturers who are participating with them, people that you have, your sponsors, and the other people that you're talking to that are also getting it and seeing what you're doing. And again, and I know how it works. And I know they're reaching out to you saying, hey, we would like to partner with you because they do it. You guys are killing it. You're doing everything right. You're bringing an important aspect to our industry, and it's tremendous what you're accomplishing. Of course, that's why we want to be part of you.
We really super appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about what it is that we're doing this year. John, Zach, I think we should spill the beans just a tad into what we're doing. And I think we should talk about some of the education that we're doing. But in spilling the tea, right, John, or spilling the beans, however, Zach, however it is that we talk, we reached out to Eric and talked to Eric about something that we were working on. And we're going to talk about it on our podcast next Friday, but our Instagram Live. But really, one of our goals has been all along to create a platform for the pool pros to be able to have access to that education. And so we reached out to Eric, you, and said, hey, here we go. We have this idea, right? That's always the conversation between us that we always go, oh, here comes the ideas that we have. And we're going to be putting out an app in partnership with the Western Pool and Spa Show. And so what's going to happen is you're going to be able to get that app. You're going to be able to download the app, and the classes that we teach at the Western Pool and Spa Show, there's going to be a big, huge button on there that says Western Pool and Spa Show, and people will be able to click on those. They'll be able to take the same classes that we're teaching over at the Western Pool and Spa Show, but now they'll be able to rewatch them again. Because one of the things that we saw a lot was people would come after us and say, hey, when are you teaching the class again? Or can we go over this? And the idea was, hey, how do we bring that all together for the pool pros? And so we need to thank you, because obviously without you, we couldn't do this, right? We couldn't go out and teach the heck classes and have them on the app for our reveal that we're doing out there. So big, huge thank you again. And this is why I keep telling you that we definitely wouldn't be where we are today without you.
I'm just so looking forward to it. Looking forward to this culminating in this product that they'll be out there, and something that I've been in discussion with and multiple people doing this and whatever. And I think that not only because of your personality and what you're doing, that people will glean onto it and will say, hey, that's something they want to participate in. And I think they're doing it right. And that the part of it is there's going to be they'll be able to take tests and stuff afterwards to make sure that they've captured the information, because that's an important component. And then there's some other social different things that go back and forth. And there's much more to it than just, say, watching a video. It's going to be more than only your sort of something on marketing or your financial stuff or whatever. But there's also the other component from other things that are going to be there. So it's going to be a wide-ranging venue of different types of classes that people will be able to participate in. It's awesome. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's not just us. It's a collaboration of some really well-respected people in the industry that are very knowledgeable and who are great educators, right? Our whole mission is not saying we know everything, because we know far from everything, right? We do know a little bit about certain things, and we can share some of our successes. But we are more than welcome to say, hey, look, you are a much better expert in this industry, and we need to get your information out so everybody can see it and at least be able to experience it and learn from it. And we're, like Edgar was saying, we are just over the moon elated that we have been given the opportunity by yourself, the show, everybody who's involved, everybody who's believed in us, to allow us to be able to put this together and release it out to everybody, because we truly believe, as you do yourself, and you've been talking about it for decades, that education is key. And that's what we're all about. And It's not about, okay, this is Pool Nation's education, and here's the Western Show's education, or here's the PHTA, right? Or here's CPO, here's PCTI, and then Pool Nation World. I want all that in one central hub of good quality information for everybody to have access to. And that's how we're going to elevate ourselves. And this is one step closer to that. And we're excited. I can't wait.
And,
this is a lot.
And to me, the excitement, Eric, is, as we've talked before, our dreams align. So what the Western Pool and Spa stands for, which is the education, and then that this is my show, right? The way that you guys treat your people and the way that you treat the volunteers, and it has that community feel, that family feel. If there was somebody to partner and release this with, it was just a match, I think, made in heaven. And we were super just excited and elated that you said yes, because I think a lot of times we got to go out there and ask, right? And so...
Sure. People think we're crazy because they're like, why are you talking? We're competitors. What are you talking about, competitors? But we're in the same, we're in this together. There is no competition.
In reality,
what are you talking about?
Absolutely. Yeah. In reality, pretty lucky in our industry. There's much more camaraderie or much more interaction with people within our industry than in many other industries, which can be very cutthroat. You go to any show, and all the sales reps from one company to the other, they see their competitors all the time. They're some of their best friends. They see each other, they talk, and they do it. And a lot of them understand that maybe they're working for one company this year, and there might be, at some point, they might be working for another company. There's enough work that's out there. There's enough market share that's out there that you can work together and get along in a lot of things and help people, and everybody grows at the same time. So there isn't a lot of, as you would say, that cutthroat competition that's out there, at least that I see, that's really predominant in our industry. And that's an enjoyable part. That's a good thing. And it's wonderful for us, again, to partner with you, partner with all of our exhibitors, all the people who our seminars and presenters and stuff, that they come in, they get us, that we're a volunteer organization. Our accountant is sort of up until we only hired her a few years ago, because our one other person who was our financial officer, who was a volunteer for whatever year, retired, and we needed to ultimately have somebody that we paid. That's the first ever paid employee that the Western Pool and Spa Show has ever had. And that's just to do our books.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Who does your books?
Yeah, that needs to be the important one.
Yeah,
exactly. So we believe in that and believe in those things with education. And I certainly am just so excited to partner with you and to have that. And I'm excited to see how it's going to come out, what it's going to be. I can't wait till that unveiling that you can pick up your phone and look at it and watch stuff. And I'm a big sort of YouTube guy. I'm always learning exoteric different things. The vastness of the things that are out there that you can learn. It just is incredible. But this will be wonderful for people to participate in and look at, and an expanding and growth of our show, and especially in Pool Nation. Absolutely. It's going to be wonderful.
So let's talk about a couple things here really quick, Eric. So the show is going to be the 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Yep.
At the Convention Center in Long Beach. And so really quick, for the education, they go to the website, they register, and they pay how much to be able to take all the classes that are at the show?
Right now, it's $115. It's slowly gone up. Our prices have gone, as a percentage, our prices still have, it's tough for us to get, we're not really gearing for us to make it as a volunteer organization, nonprofit organization, which we are, we're a nonprofit, but we only charge that amount, but you want to register online. It's really simple. Pay for your seminars, come show up, come registration desk, you'll be ready and you get a QR code and whatnot. And you can download that and you'll get your badge and you'll be able to go into seminars. But let's just say you don't think you can go to seminars. The show floor is free. It doesn't cost you anything. If you just register beforehand and come and show up, you can walk the floor and do whatever. There's no charge for that. Come in if you can. If you can't make it, come on Thursday night. It's a busy night. People enjoy it. A lot of guys think that they can't get away from work. But if you can only come one time, just come that night or come Saturday. I love Saturdays. Saturdays, we have all the kids and strollers and people come, and we have our character little algae who's out there handing out our gold coins and whatnot, and chocolate coins. And we've had about 5 different people, actual physical people, portraying our character, which is named Little Algae. And he's our sheriff, kind of Western character. And our recent one, we've really gone all out on his costume and stuff, and he's awesome. But we have people who, their pictures of them with them as a little kid, now bringing their kids to the show who are little kids and always wanting to get their picture with Little Algae. And so that's another fun aspect that we like and have to do. And so come, bring your family on Saturday. Let your wife. We got all kinds of other entertainment things. You got different booths. We have different things that aren't even in the pool business. Cutco knives and beauty creams and just different things. Massage chairs. There's always a few of those little extra booths that I call entertainment. That you just come there. Just something breaks it up, and there's just something extra that you can have a good time and get something for your wife and bring home, so she's not too upset that you're gone all day or all weekend.
Now, let me ask you, I'm going to put John on the spot here. So you said that there's some cosmetics and stuff like that. See, John jumped off really quick because he knew this was coming his way. But there's rumblings that that's a company that's co-branded by John, and he keeps it secret so that people don't know that he's selling his cosmetic line for the Pool Pro there. Is that true?
The flawless skincare?
Is that what he's selling there?
We're debuting this year at the show.
You're debuting this year. Eric, there's a...
If he's the test subject, then, well, right.
It's not going to sell very well.
It's not working. I don't know if that marketing program is really... You think that a little bit, you know.
Oh, my God, Eric, you're making me cry.
They got you on that line so that you look like Little Algae, and 3 years from now, we're going to dress you as Little Algae at our booth to take pictures.
Oh, hey, that beard is getting awesome. We had before our recent one, the guy who would play the character would start growing that bigger beard about 10 months out from the show. And he would grow it all year long. And he hated it. He hated the beard. And he would shave it off before he left. And he got about 2.5 months.
And then he'd start growing it again just for the show. That was the dedication that he put into it just for the show. Lloyd Morris. You never know. I wouldn't be Little Algae. I'd be Big Algae.
John would be the
Little Algae. Yeah, the algae, right?
How much algae do you have? The algae. Like, I have it all.
Yeah.
So, Eric,
that's good.
Is there anything else that we've left out from the show that you want to talk about? You want to share?
No, just to understand that. Again, just getting back to the education, that there's such a wide variety of classes. And one thing that and Stan we're really helping with this. There's always classes on heater class, cleaner, hydraulics, or control systems, or whatever that stuff. The things that we've been incorporating more and more, the business type classes. Because that's a large aspect of what you do. And if you don't have that as part of it, then that's what's it has been lacking and is finally coming into, and part of what you guys are doing, into more of a important role of understanding that people need that education out there in our industry. How to organize your company, how it should be set up financially, cash flow, billing, all of those aspects. A lot of different rules. California is literally a state that every day there's a legislature that's up there that's trying to figure out how to put you out of business. And how do you deal with that? And how do you deal with employees? How can you structure your business to protect yourself? And a lot of things that guys don't think about of going through and retirement and what's the end game, or what's all kinds of aspects to our. Most guys are just trying to get through day to day, slog out their whatever 15 or whatever 20 pulls a day or how many ever they do, and are dead tired at the end of the day, and they never have time to think about those things. And I always look at a show, and for me personally, and I hope that for others, is when you go someplace and you separate yourself from that day-to-day grind, that gives you the opportunity to sit in those classes and think about, and maybe at least for that time period, think about how you're doing things and what. And that's trying to provide that opportunity for people to then take it back home and change what they do. There was a famous book, a guy named Charles Baird that wrote, it's called The Millionaire Pool Man. I still think it's super relevant today. Take the time, read that, not just once, but take things like that and take classes and do whatever, but read a book like that. Do it every year. You always need that to put that back into your mind and what you're doing, and look at your business and how you're doing things and make it better continuously all the time. So we're always, if you're not growing, you're probably going backwards. So you got to keep on progressing, whether it's us personally or as our business.
Absolutely. Everybody out there, go definitely to thewesternshow.com. Check out the classes. There's 90 classes. We've talked about a lot of them today, but Eric, there was some that you were talking about that I had highlighted, and that was, you just talked about it, but it was the how to comply with independent contractor laws in California. You guys even had website tune-ups. There's more to know than pushing a pole. And then you guys do a lot of other great classes that you do there with the electricity, automations, controls, and all that. So there's definitely a lot of great classes for everybody. And the beauty of it is anybody that can go, it doesn't matter what part of their journey they're in through their business, they're going to find classes that they can take. It's not just all water chemistry or all. So definitely.
Yeah, if there's a seat in the class, you can get into it. So pay that fee and you go to any classes you want. You don't have to register for any specific class. Just decide. And that's a tough thing. It's a tough thing for us. And people want to go to one and not another or whatever. Maybe it's not offering. We always have the similar type thing and try to do that every day. So the next day you can always find something, if not the exact class, and something similar so that you can get that as a part of your education program.
Absolutely. Hey, let me ask you, you were just talking about, I think you said Charles Baird, right? Is he still alive? Yeah. Is he retired?
Yeah. He still has his company. Yeah. They exhibit at the show. He's a super nice guy, super cool guy. As we've had people and he's been around, I know there's going to be a few people who have been around almost from the beginning. So actually our first truck, here's a quick story. Our first truck was a collaboration with what was then, and we go back to our good friend Bob Lowry, who started with Service Industry News, and David Dickman. Okay. And it was Service Industry News who did the first truck that gave away that truck. And anyway, David Dickman took the Service Industry News, that paper, that got it from Bob, and they worked together for a while. And then he sold it to Service Industry News, which is still a great paper and really good information all the time especially for people in the service industry. But David Dickman's going to be at the show. He hasn't been for quite a while, but he's going to be at the show, and we're trying to just maybe do something for him or just recognize him in some way, that he was an important part of our show for a long time. So it'll be neat to see him.
That's great. Can you make sure that I'd love to meet him?
Absolutely.
We got to make sure that we make that happen. Absolutely. Super. All right. Hey guys, let's do this. Let's take our final word from our sponsors. When we come back, Zach, John, I want to get your final thoughts.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with reoccurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blueray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blueray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blueray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
Blueray all day.
AquaStar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double-locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We continue our conversation with Eric Nielson with the Western Pool and Spa Show. And we're at the end of the show here. And Zach, we're going to stay loyal to you there. Go first and get your final thoughts.
Yeah, so last year I didn't get to attend because we had a baby on the way. And so I'm super excited to be able to be a part of it this year and hang out with you guys. I know you had a lot of fun last year, so I think we're going to have a blast together. And I really love the passion that the Western has for education. And I just love the fact that education is becoming more and more of a discussion in general in our industry, because that's something I'm very passionate about. And I'm always trying to find ways to educate my team. And there's a lot more cool and creative things coming out there that are going to empower us, not only as business owners to get more educated, but also for our team to become more educated. So I think the next 5 to 10 years in our industry is going to be I think there's going to be a lot of cool things coming out, and I'm really excited to see. Stop right now. Let's jump ahead 10 years and look back and see what happened. So I think that's going to be awesome. And the last thing I want to bring up is you mentioned a putting contest. So I'm just wondering if we shouldn't have a little Pool Nation putting contest between us three, because I think I'm going to take it, to be honest.
I will smoke you. I will smoke you.
I love
Please.
You guys didn't even hesitate.
Please.
Yeah, dude.
There wasn't
Get out of
even
here, bro.
hesitation.
Get spanked.
John, that was his version of, hey, guys, I have an idea.
Yeah.
But there's my idea.
Yeah.
You use your idea for the year, John.
We
Zach.
need to get you out there and maybe film some of that. Yeah, we can get somebody and then get one of my team and certainly want some social media team and stuff going around. Maybe we make sure that we capture that event. Plan on that.
I'll smoke these guys and then they'll regret it for the rest of the year because I'll be talking smack, right, John?
Because it's Edgar. It's because you're so low to the ground. You know what I mean? You can putt really well. You know what I mean?
John, I have a great comeback, but you know what? I'm going to save it for later. So, anyways, John, let me get your final thoughts.
I've said it like we're in an echo chamber here, and I'll say it again a million times. I am thoroughly looking forward to the Western show, and it's just something we look forward to. I'll tell you this, we always, through all the years, when we do our terms of service and when we talk to clients and we bring them on, we talk about time off and we try to be very transparent. We say, hey, look, we bill for 48 weeks. There's 4 weeks out of the year that we don't bill for. Those weeks we use for vacation, sick time, and for training. And they ask about when. We talk about Thanksgiving week off. We talk about Christmas week off, and we talk about the end of March off, right? We talk, it's just a part of it, right? And we have our new employee, Fabian, that this year is going to be his first show that he's going to be a part of. And we're taking him down there. And I'm just really excited just to be there, right? Not only being a part of it, but just to be there again and to see friends and just go through the experience. I'm very excited. And I'm also very happy that Zach is going to be there too, because last year Edgar we're up there doing our presentation and we're talking, and then I go off on a little bit of tangent. I could see Edgar like burning a hole through my head saying, dude, you're talking too much, you're talking too much, you're talking too much, and we're running out of time. So I think having you, Zach, there to tame me and keep me from yapping as much is going to be something I'm looking forward to. So
it takes two for that.
I definitely appreciate it. But here's how he makes fun of me, Eric. So we're doing a presentation. We have 45 minutes. John speaks for 44 and leaves me 1 minute to do the whole class in 1 minute. And people are like, dude, like, what the heck? It got to the point, Eric, that the team that was helping us to do the classes caught on. And what she would do is she would start going to me in the back of the class. Like she would give me a 15-minute heads up and she'd be like, time's up. And then she'd be like,
they don't
5
mess
minutes.
around.
And if it wasn't for her, and I think in one of the classes, I turned to John and I went like this, John, in the class. John called me out in front of everybody. Really, Edgar, you're going to tap on your watch? Come on, man. It's all good. It's a great thing. I want to thank you, Eric, for coming on. I know that you're being super busy, and to find some time this close to the show to come out and play with us, we appreciate it and appreciate everything that you've done for us, and to many more to come, because we got many more ideas. All right, everybody. Hope you have a good evening. Guys, we will catch you next Wednesday on the Instagram Live. We'll see you 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll catch you there, and then we'll catch you at the Western Pool and Spa Show. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or PoolNationPodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.